What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Sister Time podcast. I am Chanel Latrice.
I'm Sharice.
And Sharon.
Sharika, who's that look?
I'm 2 seconds behind.
Oh, no, it's fine.
It's yeah.
Oh, she was
So maybe
judging my
three.
intro. I'm about to say,
No.
I've been doing the same thing for forever.
No, I don't know what happened.
Woo.
Oh, well, how y'all weeks been? What's happening? What's happening then?
You know, I was traveling this weekend, so
Same.
Oh, yeah, you were. And you were.
yeah,
Now I'm the one that was stationary.
you know, birthday parties. We had to transport a 2-tier cake 4 hours.
That was hell, I'm sure. Which one of y'all sat in the back?
Neither one of us.
Y'all crazy.
It made it almost there, and then we got less than 10 minutes from the house, and he hit a speed bump too hard and made it start to tilt.
Oh no.
Amaya didn't care, did she?
But it was still standing. It still looked fine for the party. We were able to gift it to not be tilted. It tastes good. It was a white cake with strawberries in between the layers. It was very yummy.
Not yummy.
It was. I be around kids. Of course I say yummy. Because
Your daughter did not say yummy. She said delicious.
she says yummy sometimes. It
Sure.
depends on what she's talking about.
Girl,
If she's talking about
delicious,
cereal.
I wonder if she want to be a little kid or not.
Yeah,
She
it
don't
depends
know.
on how
She
she
never
feels.
wants to be a little kid. She talking about delicious. Anyway, I got no time for her.
Now you get a lot of, this is perfectly prepared. You get a lot of that now.
Yo, I mean, she funny. Don't get it wrong. Don't get me wrong. She's funny, but Lord have mercy, Jesus, that girl something else.
Yeah, she's something. And you
I didn't do
were,
much.
Sharice,
Me?
you were traveling too, right? Yes.
Yeah,
I didn't know how
trying
much
to
she wanted to
find
say.
a new apartment.
Mm.
So hopefully
Fancy
I get a
pants.
nice little setup so I can look like them two, and I won't look like the little, I don't know, the little broke kid trying to tag along.
Oh God.
So
The
yeah,
pictures behind me, hers look fancy. Mine just family
It does
pictures.
not look fancy. What are y'all talking about? It's just a mirror.
Okay.
A couple
our first
mirrors
couple
behind me.
episodes.
You
I
got
used to
mirror
have
and lights.
my painting and my picture in the background, but moving white walls.
I have
You got
white
something
walls
up
as
there?
well.
Oh,
Hmm?
shut up, Siobhan.
I have white walls. I just have
Gosh.
shelves.
And lights
No.
and pictures and mirrors and stuff on top of shelves. So I mean, it's okay.
It's a
Sharice, you got
Dundee.
something?
It is a
Whatever. You got
Dundee.
something on your wall, Sharice. I see something up there. What's that? Dry erase board?
Great, no, that's some dirt or something. I don't know.
No,
What
that's
is
the
you-
window.
Some dirt. No, that's like a ledge. Girl, what you talking
Is it
about?
a window? The window sill?
I don't know, girl. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
like
what-
a
okay.
ledge or something.
that's a window. I'll be pointing stuff. Let's just get into it. Y'all ain't
No,
about to talk about my place.
Sorry. Well, all I did this weekend was talked about y'all mama for having 5 30-year-old children.
Cause she old. Duh. I mean, she's elderly. She about to start getting geezer mail. Where it's all for retirement homes and AARP.
And then when I put it in perspective, that I'm like, you're not far from having 6 30-year-olds and a 40-year-old. She was like, you ain't had to say that. I said, it's the truth. Don't
Right.
That's funny.
That's probably why she
Oh.
didn't answer when I called her.
probably not.
She probably like,
Probably
this
be
calendar
mad.
ain't got to call me. You know, kids ain't nothing but noisy calendars. Blanche Devereaux told us.
Only thing we were to her was a tax write-off.
Exactly. And
I'm
now
just playing. Hold on, wait. We're gonna
that did make
mama
her sound real
abusive.
fucked up. But we also wouldn't be talking about her so much if she was that fucked up. So it's a joke. She wasn't that foul.
Except for the jailhouse punishment. We should talk about that one day.
We will. We
That was
will.
funny.
We will talk
Okay,
about
guys.
that one day.
That could work.
Yeah. So guys, today we actually are just going over a couple of who questions. It seems as if the last time we did the questions, you all really, really enjoyed it. So we're gonna take another stab at it.
Yep.
Y'all ready? I got the first one.
Okay.
Okay. I confessed to my friend on her wedding day that I was still sleeping with her husband. Huge fight. She kicked me out of the wedding. They got married and ghosted me. All I got is this ugly bridesmaid dress and his baby inside me. How do I convince them that I'm family?
I really
So-
want to walk out.
So funny story about that.
Wait,
is
wait,
that-
wait, hold on. Wait. What you say?
I really wanted to walk out while you was telling that story. I don't like.
Why? Why you want to
It's
work out?
crazy. Is she kidding me?
It is crazy.
Go ahead, Siobhan. I don't.
So y'all know I do the Instagram live show on Wednesday. We actually answered this question last Wednesday.
You did?
Yes. And I'm gonna say what I said then. Girl, if you don't go find a galaxy of seats to have and leave them people to fuck alone.
You know what? Okay, so she's not family, but that baby is. That's really the thing. And unfortunately, because that baby is family, she got to be around to some extent.
See, the thing is, I look at the bride in this, right? Because the bride in this, yes, she should have kicked her friend out the wedding and left her
She
with
shoulda.
the ugly ass dress and everything, but you also shouldn't have married that nigga. Because why would you continue with the wedding knowing he done knocked your friend up? Even though she told you on your wedding day, I would have been Julia Roberts out that bitch and a whole ass runaway bride. Because ain't no way in the hell I'm standing there with either one of these niggas.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say, why did you go ahead and marry him? The thing that I would say is, why were the punishments not equal?
That's what I'm
Regardless of
saying.
whatever it is that you did. So, because if you wanted to go ahead and marry him, then you should be able to forgive her as well.
But once
But-
you kicked her out the wedding, you should have kicked his ass out the wedding too. The fuck? Like,
The issue that I'm looking at is, why is it that the punishments weren't the same? That's my only problem. And like I said, that baby is family. So if y'all
that
had
baby's his
kids,
family.
but that's what I'm saying. But it's hers too, like the bride. It is because if he
Depending on
has
how you
any
choose to look at it.
children, if he has any children and you have married him, that means all his kids are your family too.
Depends on how you choose to look at it.
What's another way we can get that?
That is not.
But why?
It's his
Because
kids are not yours.
it ain't got, his kids are not your kids. Yes, if he gets behind in child support or whatever, they can garnish your wages. But that does not mean that you have to emotionally accept his cheat baby. I'm not saying take nothing out on the baby. I'm just saying you don't have to be involved. But again, I wouldn't have married that
But how
nigga
can you-
anyway.
Hold on. How can you not be involved if your husband is involved? There's no way of avoiding
Easy.
that.
Yes, it is.
It is.
How?
You
How?
cannot be there at pickup, drop
You
off.
don't go to pickups,
I mean,
don't go to drop offs.
money
So
could be
Little
all tied together.
interactions, like you don't have to necessarily.
Honestly, hold on.
I'm not saying that it's not fair to anybody who wasn't the two people having sex. Like this, it's not gonna be fair to the baby. It's not gonna be fair to her. Either way, but there are ways to not get emotionally invested in this child that brings you trauma. It ain't necessarily. I'm not saying it's fair to the child, but you got to do what's best for you.
Yeah,
And
I don't
limiting
think
your interaction may be what's best.
I don't think necessarily someone else's kids is your family just because you are married to them. I would venture to say it's probably best not to get that close, especially for a certain amount of time. Because what if you guys, break up and you're all attached to that kid?
Like I'm saying, it's not your
But
family
that's-
just because it's his family. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying
But-
that a familial relationship can't be built, but what I'm saying is just because this is his family, especially a kid you didn't know anything about, and that came as a result of something that caused you pain, you don't automatically have to say
You don't have to.
that that's your baby too because that's his baby. Yeah, I know you look at it like as a good step parent, this is what you would do, but what if she don't want to be a step parent?
Then don't marry him.
I mean, you can marry him and still not be involved with his
No,
kids.
no, you cannot.
I
No, you
didn't say
cannot
it
marry
was
somebody.
fair or right.
No, I'm
I
not.
said
I'm
it
not
can
talking
happen.
about fair right. No, this is what. Okay, y'all talking about don't pick up the child or don't drop off the child, all that stuff. Okay, whatever. So what you gonna do when that child is over there and your kid's eating at the dinner table? You not giving them no food?
I
Because you
didn't
ain't
say
giving them.
mistreat the
Hold on, wait a
baby.
minute. No, hold on. Because you saying no interaction with this child.
I said limited. It's a difference. No interaction. I'm not saying mistreat the baby. I'm saying don't get emotionally invested in the baby.
I agree with that. You cannot get
Especially if
emotionally
it's from a
invested.
situation that causes you trauma.
Yeah, but I can understand that it's a situation that may have caused you trauma. But if you have chosen to be with this person, and this person, especially have children that are minors, that are under the age of 18, that is something that you have to accept with that person that you decide to be with.
All I'm saying is choosing to be with a person don't necessarily mean choosing to be with their kids. You see it every day.
But that's part of it. That's the issue. That's part of it. If you
It depends on how you decide to conduct your relationship.
If you decide you want to be with somebody and they have minor children, they are actively involved in their lives, you are accepting them as well. If you don't want to accept them, that's fine, but that means you not accepting that person. If you are not accepting that child and you still date them, you're still not accepting that person.
It depends on what that person values. It depends on how that person lines their relationship up. They may not see their children as part of their relationship. Therefore, you not connecting with their children don't necessarily mean nothing. That's what it means to you. That don't necessarily mean that's what it means to everybody.
Honestly, that's probably why, to me, fathers was off limits when I was still dating. Because that might maybe sound, I don't know, rude or something, but I just didn't want to deal with that. And you could choose to do what I did, but if
people with children when I was dating.
I agree with that. So
no.
It's not to say, hold on, wait a minute, because it's not to say that somebody who's made a decision, I don't want to date someone who has children, that they're wrong. That's totally okay. But if you decided to date someone that has especially minor children, you got to understand that the minor children come with that person if they are actively involved in these children's lives.
Still say yes or no, because when I was out there dating, although I did not choose to date people with children, I did date someone with 2 children. I did not know that this person had children when we started dating. Therefore, I did not choose to be involved with that person's children. I accept the fact they had children, and I kept my distance because I did not choose to be involved because I did not want to.
Married to them. You're not married to them.
I mean, no, but it's because he was a fuckboy. But you know.
But if you okay, I'm not referring to superficial surface 2-month dating type of situations.
No, I mean we dated for a while, but it still was.
I said 2 months to be, just saying something that's a fly by night thing, something that's not going places for real.
I mean, we dated for like 2 years.
But obviously it's not going places because y'all not together.
No, but it ain't had nothing to do with the kids. I still in them 2 years I was never involved with the children.
I never said it did.
I see what you're trying to say.
I see what she's trying to say, but what I'm saying is you can still do it.
No, if you are marrying somebody, you can't marry them without accepting their children if they are actively involved in their minor children's lives. Now, if you're talking about somebody that's over the age of, no, I'm not saying people don't do fucked up stuff, but what I'm saying is if you don't accept their child, then you're not accepting them completely.
I don't think it's necessarily not accepting them.
Because if they are under the age of 18 and they are in the child's life, that means they going and getting this child, or the child is coming over, whatever the case may be, that child is there. You have to accept that child being there. You have to accept that child as part of it. You have to accept the child is going to take time, money, attention, all of that out of your household. You have to accept that. You have no choice but to accept that because they're actively in the child's life. Now, if you're talking about somebody who only pays child support and it's on the other side of town, they never see them, I'm also not necessarily saying that's right, but that's a different situation. If you're talking about somebody who has adult children, again, different situation. But if it's minor children active, and the parent is active in their life, if you're marrying them, you have to accept the fact that that child is part of it too.
What if you accept that they're a part of it, but you choose not to be around when they come to the house?
Because that could be your weekend away from the house when they come over. It could be that's the weekend that you go,
And you
like
don't,
you schedule your work trips around the times they gonna be there. Like there, I mean, I'm not saying it's fair to the kids or to the all. It's not fair to all the innocent parties in this situation.
I don't
I'm
think it's
just
unfair
saying,
if they have two active parents
hold on,
and a step, hold on, and a stepmother or father, I guess mother in this situation, don't want to be around. I don't think that's unfair. Not even don't want to be
I mean,
around,
kids
but don't want to get
internalize
too
things.
involved.
Kids internalize things, and this child very much very much would say that their stepmother doesn't want to be around and it's their fault, because children don't understand that everything isn't because of them or for them, because children are just self-centered, because that's how big their world is. That's why I said it's unfair to all the innocent parties involved, because it's either you have this baby who has an adult person in their life that doesn't want to be around them because of the choices of this baby's parents, or you have this woman that's forced to play stepmother to a child that wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the terrible choices of her partner and her friend. It's unfair to everybody involved since she decided to go ahead and get married, but I still say I wouldn't have married the nigga. So
I think that's my problem is you saying that she's forced to be a stepmother. No, she's not. She could easily say, I don't want to get married. If you chose to get married to this man still, then this is part of it. You can't pick
that
and
doesn't
choose.
change. I mean, okay,
What
we
part of
change a
him?
word. That doesn't change the fact that it's still an unfair situation
Hold on, wait,
to all
wait.
the
What you
innocent
mean?
parties. So
She's
we
still an
changed the
innocent
word
party.
from forced to choose.
No,
If we go to this exact situation, she was talking about Chanel with she just found out right before the wedding.
on
On her wedding day.
wedding day.
So it's unfair.
It's an
But
unfair
can't-
situation to all the innocent parties.
I feel like we as women would say, "Oh, I wouldn't marry him," but it's
no,
on your
I'm not necessarily
wedding
saying
day.
that. I'm not necessarily
Yeah.
immediately saying that I wouldn't
So
marry
I
him.
feel Siobhan when she said is the woman is still innocent or forced, maybe, but
I mean, we can
innocent
switch
party
forced
definitely.
to choose. It doesn't change
No,
the
the
fact that it's
reason
an unfair situation.
No, the reason I'm saying forcing and choosing are two different things. And I think you thinking like because the word changed, that doesn't change the situation. The way I see it is, if this is something else that has an effect on what your decision is going to be when it comes to being with this person. Is it or not? Forget that part. The point is, it's still part of what's going to make your decision when it comes to being with them. It says this has happened. You're like, this is something that I'm not going to deal with. I don't want to be. I don't want to deal with this person and the fact they have an outside child with my friend. I don't want to deal with that anymore. That's not necessarily a force in hand. I mean, because if that's the case, then anybody that leaves because they get cheated on always is forced to leave. No, they chose. They didn't want to deal with that.
See, this
But
is
she had
why
like 2 hours
is,
though, right?
This is
It
why I
doesn't
say
matter.
this
It
is
does.
why I say the word forced. This is why, because she was given this information on her wedding day, right?
Mhm.
So she's hurt because her fiance was cheating on her. Her
Mhm.
literally about to be husband was cheating on her. She's hurt and embarrassed because he was cheating on her with her friend. She's
Mhm.
embarrassed because now the friend is pregnant, so everybody's gonna know what he did. Did she? And now it's like, do I add the embarrassment of also walking away on my wedding day, or do I try to save face at least for a little while and go ahead and get married? Yes, I can sit here and say I wouldn't have done it, but I don't know, because that's a lot of emotions. This is why I say forced, because that's a big decision to decide to walk away from your wedding on your wedding day with all these other emotions and stuff that you're processing. So that's
to
why I
think,
say forced,
I
because
say
of
to
the
go ahead.
timing that and the way the information was given to her and when it was given to her.
I feel like to think you will be thinking clearly, that's a fallacy. There's no way.
Yeah.
I never said that either.
I didn't say you did. I feel like maybe the rational decision would be to postpone or not even get married. But maybe when she woke up, she's like, "Oh my God, I actually did marry this dude." But I feel like most women will get married in that situation. So after you explained it, uh, maybe I could see the force. I'm still struggling with that
And
word
that's
that you
fine.
use.
That's just how I
But
feel.
it's like I get it, but then I kind of don't, because like it's a lot of emotions going on when that happens.
Like nobody makes rational decisions when they're in like emotional tailspins. So
Agree with
just,
that statement as well.
and I'm not saying that
Do you
he
disagree?
forced her.
I said I agree.
I'm not saying that he forced her into anything. I think the person who really took her choices away from her and her ability to make a rational decision was her friend when she chose to tell her this on her wedding day. You been knew you was pregnant. You been knew you was fucking him. You couldn't tell her before that day.
True. That's true. So I think, I don't know. I feel like she should get some leeway to think about what she wants to do with the situation and how she want to handle the kid.
Yeah.
Now we don't know how long ago this was because they definitely said ghosted her. She definitely said ghosted her. So we don't know
Yeah,
how long
like
ago
they
it
stopped
was
answering
That's
her
true.
phone
the wedding
calls.
was.
Yeah.
That's true.
The wedding was. Because that you don't feel ghosted after one day. So this is obviously some time has passed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I wonder more
if the time
information.
has,
Like,
so if the time has passed,
but
and
it
now
can't be
you
more than a
those-
couple months.
Hold on, wait a minute, because the time has passed. You off all those emotional roller coasters. Now you can make your rational decision. Why the
But
hell
we
you still
also
married to
don't
this
know if
dude?
she stayed with him. We don't know if she stayed with him after
and
she had time to think about it or anything. Like we don't. It's a big part of the story that we don't know, and it's mostly because the
right.
person who actually wrote this letter don't know. For all we know is it could have been a month later, and she decided, hell no, I don't want to do this shit. Because it's only been a couple months between whenever she told her and when this letter was written, because she hasn't had the baby yet. So
Yeah, to me, there's a lot of moving pieces, because we don't know how well the baby probably born, maybe.
Well,
you
in the
don't
letter
know.
she said she was still
the
pregnant.
baby is still inside of her. Yeah, she's still pregnant.
Okay, yeah, she did say that. And did he say from the beginning he didn't want any kid? I wondered how that conversation went.
I don't think that matters at this point, because if you
I
really
don't think
didn't
that
want no
matters.
kids, then you would have took the precautions. You wrong. So that don't
No,
matter
it
what
can-
he said.
I would, yeah, kind of. Because although I personally think if you don't want to get a girl pregnant, you should use a condom. But what if it was like I'm on a pill type of thing,
So,
and he decided to do it anyway?
You still wrong.
I don't think.
I don't
if
have
you
sympathy in those situations. Like,
I don't necessarily have sympathy.
unless she was
I just
tampering with your
understand it.
condoms, you should have took responsibility.
I just understand it. How if you say, if somebody says you're on a pill, like I said, if you should only have sex unprotected if you're prepared to get that person pregnant. That's what I personally think.
Yes.
I just trying to see the other side. If you're just dumb, don't shake your head, because it makes sense. If you're just dumb and you say, and the person say that they're on the pill, you're like, oh, okay, let's just do it. That's unfair to the guy as well, though.
No, it's not. To me, I don't. Hold on. You said it makes sense. To me, no. I feel like that goes into this notion of the only person that's responsible for you getting pregnant is you, and that's not true. He's responsible for it as well. If you don't want a baby, then you wear a condom, regardless to what I say. If you don't want a baby, go get a vasectomy, regardless of what I say. Let's say I am on a pill. How do you know I've been taking it the right way? Maybe I skipped a couple of days because I forgot. Now I'm in the chance if I can be pregnant, which I could. I'm in my mind, I'm still on the pill, and I'm not thinking about the fact that I missed it at the right time 3 days in a row, and that's gonna have an effect on it. It's not totally on the girl when it comes to getting pregnant. That if you don't want a baby as a guy, you wear a condom, no matter what she says.
I don't
Yeah, I
believe
get-
in
no, I get that.
absolving men of guilt when it comes to pregnancy.
I do not.
And
not
a
one
lot
bit.
of And that's what we do in our society. We absolve the
Yes.
man of the guilt and the responsibility when it comes to the pregnancy. You can't knock yourself up. Like somebody else
No,
has
you
to be. And
can't.
if you don't want to be somebody's daddy, then you need to take proper
Then you need
precautions
to
because
take the caution.
there is a
Yes.
level
But
of personal accountability. Now, it'd be one thing if I said, here's a condom, but I know I've been poking holes and shit in it. Then
Mhm.
yes, that is something that
That's
it is
okay.
my
That's-
fault, it's my responsibility,
Yes.
and it was unfair to him. But because I said I'm on the pill, which I may be, but shit still happens, and you chose not to
Yes.
wear a condom anyway,
I mean,
I can't say that I necessarily, because I didn't say that I was taking it as prescribed. I didn't say, and then even if I was,
okay.
birth
So let me
control fails all the time.
let me go
How
back
do I
then.
know?
What I was trying to say, what if she said she was on the pill, but she wasn't taking it. She knew she wasn't taking it. I'm not talking those situations happen.
I still
But
don't
if
think that that's
she
unfair to him because
I don't
there's
either.
still
I don't either.
I mean, lying in a relationship is lying in a relationship, no matter what the sexual,
Yes.
whether it's intimate or sexual. That's a different sin. I don't think that we're gonna say it's unfair to him because she got pregnant when he didn't take the precautions either. Because when I was actually concerned about having kids, it was even if I was on birth control, you still wear a condom, and I found out with the first one that birth control don't really mean shit because I was on birth control when I got pregnant with her. So
yeah, I don't know. I
taking
just
it
feel like
as
it's still deceptive to do that.
But see,
I
that
never
goes
said it
to
wasn't deceptive. I'm
that
not
goes
saying
to
it. I'm not
lying
saying it's
in
not
a
deceptive.
relationship. No one said it
Let's.
was deceptive.
Yeah.
It wasn't deceptive, and no one said it wasn't. I'm not going to say it's unfair to him.
Correct.
How can it be deceptive and not unfair?
Because lying in a relationship is lying in the relationship. That's a different thing. But I'm not gonna say it's unfair to him that she got pregnant because there was still ways that he could have prevented that without even regardless of anything else. Because yes, her lying to him is unfair to him, but in a different way. It's because you're building a relationship and it's going to be a trust factor, and she's lying, not because she got pregnant though. Because he could still he could prevent that just like she can. I mean, birth control or not, you hear way too often people getting pregnant on birth control, and even still, that don't protect you from anything else. So you still should have been wearing a condom.
With this, quick question, Sharice. Do you feel that same way with those girls who go out and get pregnant by like athletes? Do you feel the same way as like he's like absolved of it? Like he's like, oh no, he didn't want the baby, so that's all on you. And she go out, she lied, talking about I'm on the pill, blah blah blah, whatever. And her whole plan was to get pregnant by this athlete.
Yes.
I'm thoroughly surprised because normally people say no, because if he didn't want a baby, he should. Because it's funny how a lot of times when it comes to men that have money, when they
those same excuses don't apply.
They don't apply.
I'm equal opportunity. Over here.
To me, the way I see it is, if you didn't want the baby, you should have wore a condom.
There's a level of personal responsibility that everybody needs to take.
Yes.
Because there's ways you could still protect yourself. Because I know it's funny you are saying this because I saw something earlier that somebody tried to liken an unexpected pregnancy to a form of rape. And I was like, trying to figure out how to. So this is what it said. A woman getting pregnant when a man didn't expect her to is the same as a woman being raped by a man, because in both cases something happened that somebody didn't want.
Oh my gosh.
I see what they tried to say, but
it was some bullshit what they tried to say.
I don't even see what they tried to say, because the thing is, Because the thing is, that woman didn't even necessarily, that woman had no more to do with her getting pregnant than you did. It's not like she went in there and took the sperm and the egg and put it together. Nature did what it was supposed to do. I don't blame
Yeah.
her for that.
Yes, the egg and
If
sperm
y'all,
did what it's
if
literally
y'all
designed
had
to do.
if y'all had consensual sex and you decided to ejaculate inside of this woman, she didn't do anything more than you did in regards to an egg happened to have been released that month. It was sitting there and it waited for your sperm while it swam its ass on up to the egg
Yeah,
and
it's not like
fertilized it.
she like knocked you out and just took it and got
Oh, you're
pregnant.
right.
Like,
That's no.
I think they more
Mm-mm.
talk about what happens after. Like she didn't take the plan B or get an abortion. I think that's what that. I think I didn't read. I don't know what you're talking about. So that's kind of what I would think
it's still some
it would be.
bullshit. It's still some bullshit.
I didn't say I agree. I see
You
Chanel's
can't.
face. I didn't
It's
say I
like literally
agree.
no
I
way to
feel like that's
liken
what
one
they
to
were
the
talking
other.
about.
I feel like yet again somebody who doesn't have anything to bitch about want to take the issue that someone else has and try to apply it to themselves. This is
Mhm.
nothing like rape. Nothing like rape.
At
So
all.
stop it. Stop.
At all.
You have sex
Yeah,
and you
they
are trying to find yet another way to get away from your responsibilities. You decided to get that woman pregnant. You decided to not have a condom. You can't force her to have an abortion. You can't force her to take the plan B. Maybe she don't believe in that stuff. Maybe you could have taken the proper precautions at the very beginning
Yeah.
that would have never got you into this situation. You cannot do whatever you want when it comes to sex and expect all of the responsibility to fall on the woman. No,
well,
no.
Chanel, it sounded like when you just was saying all that you was putting all the responsibility on the preventing the pregnancy on men.
No, I'm not. I'm not. What I'm saying is you can't run away because something happened that you didn't necessarily expect to happen. You can't run away from that. If you don't want, okay, so I feel the same way with women. Let's say I don't want to have a baby. So that means it's my responsibility to get on birth control or make every guy that I have sex with wear a condom. That is my responsibility. It is both, there's an equal responsibility when it comes to getting pregnant unless something was forced. If it was consensual, it is an equal responsibility. If this dude don't want to wear a condom, that's fine. It's your business. You not having sex with me because
Right.
I don't want the things that could come after that. So it's on both people. I'm not saying that it's totally on the man. I'm just saying it's on both of y'all. You can't neither party can kind of go with the flow and then expect the other person to be responsible for everything afterwards.
Right. Because
Well, okay.
honestly,
Wait,
when
hold
it
on,
comes,
Siobhan. Wait. It brings me to my next question. What you just said.
well, I was
What
about
if?
to talk to
I'm
this.
sorry. I'm gonna forget. What if? Because you just said it's not on one party to go with the flow. So what if neither one of y'all want to get pregnant, and you get pregnant, but one of them wants to have an abortion or adoption because at the beginning you didn't want to have a baby. You think that's fair?
Yes.
Even if no matter if it's the man or the woman?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. I was wondering. Go ahead.
I
Siobhan.
think it's fair. I think it's fair because people want to
You were in agreements first at first?
people want to ignore the fact that pregnancy is a possible outcome. And just because you didn't want it to happen doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. So you need to understand that that could happen. If you with somebody who don't believe in, if you with a woman who does not believe in an abortion and she doesn't get one, that doesn't all of a sudden mean you're not responsible. She wouldn't want it either necessarily, but she don't believe in abortion. So we made this baby together. We gonna have to take care of it together. I do feel
Go ahead,
that way.
Siobhan.
I feel that way.
Go ahead. Because I don't know. I feel like if y'all come together, say we don't want to have a baby,
Mhm.
you end up let's say I'm the guy,
Mhm.
and you end up I'm getting pregnant. I don't feel like he should be kind of, I don't know, I won't say bullied, but looked down upon or being verbally assaulted because he asked for the abortion because y'all were in agreements, y'all didn't want to have a kid.
Okay, that's fine. But if I decided to have, okay, I'm against abortion. Let's go that route. I'm the woman who gets
Mhm.
pregnant. I'm against abortion. We didn't want to get pregnant when we had sex. Absolutely. That's not what we were shooting for necessarily. But I'm against abortion. So it's like, okay, this was one of the outcomes. I need to understand that. I have this baby. Now, is it fair for me to just be like, oh, well, now you have all responsibility, although both of us, not the one of us want to get pregnant, but now it's totally yours now? I don't think that's right either, because you were part of this.
But you
But
decided
I
to have
don't
the
believe-
baby when
but
we
I-
didn't want one.
I don't believe in abortion. So I had to change
You
my
switched
moral
up.
compass.
But
I had to
this
change
is
my moral compass because I
I
got
didn't
pregnant.
You
say
can't-
no one
you
said
can't
that, but
switch
what I'm
up.
saying is, like, to
It's-
me, in my opinion, I think that if it was an unexpected pregnancy, something neither of y'all wanted, and y'all did not let me talk.
No, because this is the thing that I think will actually completely, like, it'll be done with everybody. Whoever didn't want you to sign over the rights. If you don't sign over
That's
your
what I was
parental
about to
rights,
say. Go sign off
If
on
you don't-
parental rights and
if
don't
you
have
don't-
nothing to do with
if you
it at
don't
all.
sign over your parental rights, then no, you're not getting ready to push this all on me.
Oh, if
I
you're
don't
okay
believe
with
in
that, then
forcing.
Chanel.
I don't
Maybe-
believe in
I didn't
forcing
say-
people to
hold
be
on,
parents.
wait a minute.
Though.
I didn't say I was okay with it. I did not say I was okay with it, but I would say that would probably be the best option, because in that case, then the woman could also have give the baby up for adoption as well. I can even understand, but I mean, because that's also signing your rights away. So if you legitimately feel that way, go sign your rights away, and we never ever have to speak again. Now that one I can kind of deal with. I can
agree with
kind
it.
of deal.
What were you about to say, Siobhan? I'm kind of curious now. Let's go ahead. I'll say something later.
Are you curious?
Yeah.
I was going to say that while yes, if you don't want the baby and the other person does, and whatever, even if you don't go and sign your parental rights away, I still don't think anybody should be forced to be a parent. And whether you sign your rights away or not, I think it should be the person that wanted to keep this baby is the one to raise it. Like if I get pregnant and we both decided we wasn't having no kids and we didn't want no babies, nothing like that, and I say, well, I'm about to go handle this, and he say, no, I want to keep the baby, then this baby is not his responsibility, whether I sign my rights away or not. I fucking told you I didn't want to be involved.
Do you think wanting a baby and against abortion are the same thing?
I didn't say that. Where'd that come from?
No, I'm asking you.
No, it's not the same thing.
I didn't say you can, but it's still, you wanted to keep the baby regardless of whether it's because of a moral reason, because of a religious reason, because of an emotional reason. It does not matter. You wanted it, not I. Therefore, I'm gonna move the fuck around.
Well, so wait, Chanel, I'll ask you this then. If you didn't want the abortion and the father say he didn't want the baby, do you think you should go after him for child support or just let him be? Because he told you from the beginning.
Hold on, you say that again?
If at the beginning you guys didn't want a baby, something happened, got pregnant, you like, you know what, I want to keep it, and he telling you, I don't want this baby. After the baby is born, should you go after him for child support when he told you from the beginning?
I don't know.
Because to me, I don't know, I'm kind of iffy. I can kind of see both sides, but you did not want you wanted the baby, you want to keep the baby, and you say that's your decision. He say, I do not want this baby. Why it should be your decision for him to take care of it?
Well, a big thing for me when it comes to this whole thing is going back to what I was initially saying, is the whole, if you don't want kids, then make sure you don't have kids by doing whatever you need to do to not have those kids. And then also, like I said, even if the baby is not necessarily what you wanted, I think a lot of people, they like to ignore that pregnancy is a possible outcome.
No, people ignore consequences of every action. Like I
Yeah.
agree with you on that.
So it's like my thing is, it's like, just because you're ignoring that it's a consequence doesn't change the fact that it's still a consequence. So this consequence happened to happen, but you need to understand that your actions was part of this.
It's
Yeah,
true,
I
but if
still,
both of you guys
but
say
to
you didn't
me,
want one,
to
I
me,
don't
I
know. I
think,
can't get with that.
see, for me, the reason why I say I don't believe in force people to be parents is because I'm a firm believer that it's better for a child to have one loving parent than two that where it's clear that one didn't want them.
I can kind of see that.
So, I mean, I just don't think that I don't think anybody should be bullied into being a parent. I know we say, my body, my choice, and it is very much your right. If you do or do not want to get an abortion, very much your right. But I'm also not going to ignore the rights of the men in this situation because we go real hard with the my body, my choice as far as women making the unilateral decisions of abortion, right?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
in that, it's like you want to force these men to be fathers, but we ignored everything they said up until this point. So I do think that while it is your choice to do what the fuck you want to do with your body, and I'm a firm believer nobody should regulate what you do with your body, we also have to acknowledge the other person. And I think that gets missed a lot.
I think so because like this, I feel like it's unfair for you to have a baby, a woman to have a baby without trying, and she can choose whether or not to be a mother, but the father doesn't have that same choice after the baby's conceived. It's more than likely only up to the mother because she can get the abortion even if he wants it, and she can keep the baby even if he does not. I don't think that part's fair. So you say your body, your choice. Yeah, that's true. Now, like I said, I'm a firm believer in that as well. But to think that a man should just follow along with every decision that you make, even though he doesn't agree with that, I don't think that part's fair.
Well, for me, with stuff like that, for me, the way I see it is go down there and sign your rights away.
What
Because
Yeah.
if
I
he
feel like
what if he wants the baby and she gets to abort it? It can go that way as well. Nobody even talks about that. I don't know if it happens
no,
that
It
often, but I'm
I
sure
does.
think
it happens.
no.
Okay.
I think I
I don't
think
know the
I think
numbers,
people
but
I think people do talk about that. For me, okay, I'm not saying that it's totally okay that she decides to go and have an abortion, although he wants the baby. Um, I can understand why some of them would possibly do that because let's say we 7 months in and he like, you know what? I changed my mind. Now you stuck. You are
Yeah,
stuck.
I mean, but
it's a gamble though, Chanel. I don't know.
No, you're one
That's
hundred
not right.
percent. No, you are correct. It 1000% is a gamble, but it is. It's not even on you until those 10 months are over. It's on me, and after a certain point, I'm not even allowed to have an abortion now. But you
True.
decide in the last hour, I don't want the baby anymore because I'm with somebody else and she don't want kids. So never mind. Now what am I supposed to do?
It's a gamble. You can't have it both ways to me. You can't say that it's all up to the woman, but then have the man be okay with either option. You can't do that.
Wait, so that
It can't be all up to the woman, keep the baby or not keep the baby, and then the man just be okay with either option, no matter how he feels.
okay, so what's the recourse if he decided he wants the baby, I'm keeping it, I'm carrying it, we in month 8.5 and he changed his mind. Now what?
It's a gamble.
Okay, so it's
no,
the
I
gamble.
say,
So now
I
what happens?
see.
Now what
See,
happens?
this is why I say, if you did not want that baby, he wanted to keep it. You kept it because he wants to keep it, and your feelings for that never change. Make sure he signs that birth certificate, and you hand him that baby.
No,
But
she
hold
said
on, but
before
wait,
he before they get the
no,
baby,
because
before they
before
had the
you
baby.
had the baby, you at 8.5, you ain't even had the baby yet, and he
I
changed his
mean,
mind.
you
Now
can
what?
still get him served to take custody. You can do that because if you get
You
him
know
served
what?
with custody papers, and because he got to come to court.
Maybe
I mean, that
after
sounds
after
good.
that point. No, maybe after that point, I'll be okay with getting the course involved. But before then, and if the communication was there from the beginning, no, like that's your
Okay.
bed, you got to lie in it type of thing.
Hold on. So I'm going back. So I still don't feel like I got an answer for what do you do at that 8.5 month mark? Okay, it was a
I just
gamble.
told you.
I get that. No, you know what you're talking about is after the baby was born.
I mean, ain't nothing you can do with the baby at 8.5 months.
But that's the reason why I think people don't talk about it so much when it's the situation of the man wants it and the woman doesn't. Because everything about that pregnancy is all on the woman. Everything about that baby is all on the woman up until birth, completely on her, regardless of what he wants to do. So at any point during that pregnancy, he can decide, I don't want the baby anymore. Now you're stuck being pregnant with a child that you didn't want either. Neither one of y'all wanted. He decided he wanted during the pregnancy, then changed his mind again. So now you stuck too. So why is it that you all are saying
Adoption.
that it's like a thing of you can't force this man to do it, but you forcing this woman to do it because
I'm not forcing her to do it.
Hold on, you are, because if he decided he wanted it and she didn't, so she's keeping the baby because he wanted the baby.
Okay.
X amount of time down the line, he decides, I don't want the baby. She can't have an abortion anymore, so she is being forced to carry this baby to term.
But that's not, but you're talking about, you're inserting a situation that there's literally no answer to. If you choose to keep, the only thing you can do is after birth. Like, it's not
adoption.
It was on, but that's not the same thing, because you're making it like we're saying women don't have no rights in this, and that's not at all what we're saying.
That's not what I'm saying either. What I'm saying is the subject came up of, we don't take into consideration what the man wants when it comes to abortion. It's really like whatever the woman decides is what goes, right? And what my rebuttal to the whole, I think a big reason as to why the man wants it and the woman not is not a huge subject is because at any point during that pregnancy, he can change his mind and she can't.
But this is the thing though, because she never chose, she still is not saying she's wanting to be a mother. She made a choice to carry this baby to whatever the termination of this pregnancy is. And her carrying the baby is the result of that choice. That don't have nothing to do with her being a parent, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Because she can still choose to not be the parent, but she made the choice to carry the baby to the termination of the pregnancy. That's a choice. That's not the same as taking a choice wasn't taken from her, because she still could have went and had that abortion. No, it wasn't.
No, it's not, because wait, no, Chanel. Oh, me? Are you? Me, okay, because what we're saying is, in this situation, the girl doesn't want that baby. He wants it, so she like, all right, I'll keep the baby.
I'll make the choice to carry the baby to term, and then it becomes your responsibility. But if he decides to run off, the only thing she can do is after birth give the baby up anyway. That's what she was going to do.
You don't have any attachment to it. You didn't want the baby at the beginning, so the only thing you did was
want to be pregnant.
But the thing is that you made the choice to continue.
It's still a forceful. If we are wanting to have it where men have an equal say, and if the woman decides to carry the baby or not, he doesn't. Hands down, point blank.
I didn't say that.
I don't think you should have equal say.
I didn't say that. I didn't say she had equal say. I did say that we need to at least take into consideration. But
I think
you saying choosing, but to me, it's not the same as if I sit down and say I want to have an abortion, and this man, whoever he is, say I want to carry this baby to term. We're no longer talking about me being a parent, because I already told you I don't want the baby. I don't want to be a parent. Now if he asks me to carry the baby to term and I say, okay, but after that, I'm giving this baby up, whether you give it to him or the court system, that's still what you agreed to do. This is a different conversation.
I wasn't saying he should have equal say. I was saying he should have enough say, and rather whether or not he wants to be involved. You can't force anybody to be involved.
And you, okay.
What?
If
We're
you
not
sh-
going to agree. No, we're not going to agree.
No, we're not. That's
We
fine.
will not, because to me, I feel like I feel like we're still going down the road. You all are only referring to it's. Let me change that. It sounds as if you all are referring to you still have the choice not being a mother. I'm also talking about the pregnancy as well, and
But that's why I know what you're
promotion
talking
of
about. Like I know what you're talking
because
about, and that's why I said it's two different conversations.
Wait, Siobhan. Let me get up.
no, it's
Go ahead, no, go ahead, Chanel. I want to hear it. Come on.
don't worry about it. No, don't worry about it.
I want to hear it.
I mean, I've said it multiple times.
No, and to be clear, I knew exactly what you were talking about, but that's why I say it's two different conversations because that's two different sets of choices in my mind. To me, it is.
To me, it isn't. To me, it's still somebody being forced to do something that they don't want to do.
It's never going to be 50-50.
I don't think men
like-
have equal say in the abortions, though. Like, I definitely don't think that because at the end of the day, it is I do have the biggest stake in the pregnancy as far as the mental, emotional, and physical stress on my body. So I'm not saying that they don't have equal says, but it's like if this nigga told you 100 times he wasn't gonna be there, why force him to be there?
I agree. I don't think they have equal say in the abortion process. But when
Yeah,
it comes out and he's like, I told you I wasn't going to be here. You got to just chalk that up to the game. 18-year-old game.
I wasn't even no longer talking about that part.
But if he doesn't sign his rights away, choosing to go after a financial contribution, if either parent doesn't sign their rights away, I don't think there's anything wrong with choosing to go after a financial contribution. I'm saying actually try to physically force this person to be a parent. That's what I'm talking about. Because I don't think the fact that you choose to not be involved absolves you of the financial responsibility of this child's well-being. I don't believe that. Choosing to not be a part of their lives physically and emotionally doesn't absolve you of the responsibility of the monetary security of this child's well-being. So you can go after them for child support or whatever other financial things you may need to go for, but I'm talking trying to physically and emotionally force someone to be a parent.
We disagree on that one.
That's fine.
Because these are ingredients this whole time, but yeah,
because I think you still have a financial responsibility, even if you choose to not have an emotional one, unless you go and sign away all parental rights to this child, including the financial ones.
I feel like that's really the only thing that I would accept in the sense of this person doesn't have to contribute in any way, shape, or form. Because if you legitimately don't want it, that means you can sign your rights away. So go and do that. If you are choosing not, see, I feel like if you're choosing not to do that, then you are still having some type of ties to this child, and you can't just go all willy-nilly like nothing's going on as if you had no part in this child. If you don't sign your rights away
and just want to randomly show up,
that's the exact and I feel like guys get to do that a lot, and I think that's another reason why most of it really falls on the woman in regards to abortion or not abortion, because guys, they get to do that. They get to this back and forth because when the woman leaves the hospital, she got the baby, she can't do nothing, she has the child, he don't, he gets to run off and do whatever he want to do. And I don't think that's cool either. So it's like, if you legitimately don't want it, then sign your rights away and you are now a stranger to this child. Yes. If you don't do that, then if you have that biological connection, then I can come after you because biologically you are connected to this child.
Yeah, I feel like we can all agree on that one.
Since this one took so long, y'all want
to do
one more?
This did take a long time.
Yeah.
We can do one more.
Okay. I don't have one anyway.
I do. So
I didn't do my homework.
Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend
Mhm.
she isn't allowed to use my eggs because she wastes them? Hold, here's the story.
Like eating eggs?
It's,
Here's the story.
you should-
Hello, I will make things short. Me and my girlfriend, both 25, have been fighting over eggs recently. There's an egg crisis in my country. A lot of hens have died from a bird flu. This has made eggs a rarity in our local supermarket, and they are both hard to get by and more expensive. You're lucky if you're able to get a packet of eggs before they run out. We eat a lot of eggs in our household and share our finances, but I do all the grocery shopping now during the pandemic. My girlfriend only eats the egg yolk, puts in on, oh, she puts it on her noodles. This person doesn't speak English, so you know.
I could tell
And
by the fact that you said they put it on their noodles.
and throws away the egg whites. I like the whites and use them both in bacon and in normal cooking. I keep telling her that I think it's unfair she throws away the whites and have asked her to at least save the whites in the fridge so I can use it later. I get upset because she's wasting edible parts of a food that's hard to come by. And even if the egg crisis wasn't in action, I think she's being upsetting in the way. Wait, sorry. What? Oh, I think she's being upsetting in the way that she just throws away edible food like that. I told her I would start to buy eggs from my own savings and she won't be allowed to take from my egg box unless she saves the whites. She freaked out at me once. She freaked out at me since she wants to use the egg yolks for her noodles. She says I'm being an asshole and petty about this because it's just eggs. I don't know if she's right or not because yes, it's just eggs, but since it's just eggs, she could just as well not throw them away like that when it causes such disruptance to our relationship. This is very upsetting to me, and I want to know if I'm overreacting or am I being an asshole for making her save the whites or not have any yolks?
leave it to you to read something ridiculous like that. But I don't know. We can put this on something that isn't as, I guess, petty as egg yolks. Yeah, I mean, she is ridiculous. Just say the whites.
It's not that deep. Just say, if he asks you to say the whites,
Save
just say the
them.
whites. Like, why are you
Just
being a
say
dick? Like, what?
I
Just
think
say
I think both of them are being petty. Although
Yes.
if I was any person, I would probably be the guy. But I think both of them are being petty. Both of them are petty. Like, okay, dude. Because
It's like you could not be crying about these egg whites. Like I get it's an
you
egg
could not be
shortage,
crying about
but
some
Y'all
also
don't
she
know how
could
much
just
eggs
fucking
cost.
save them. I do know how much eggs
you're
cost. We eat a lot of eggs in my house.
Well, wherever
I
he is, I
understand.
don't know. I mean,
You
mind
are
your
correct.
business.
I understand. That's what I said. I said both of them are petty, and if I had to choose either one, I would probably be more on the guy's
Yeah, I
side.
definitely side with the guy, even though
I'm
both
on
of
his
them are
side.
being petty. It's very much like you could just put them whites in a bowl and stop being a
You
dick.
could just put
Like,
them whites in
I
the bowl,
mean,
and you could just shut up about the damn whites.
the thing
especially because
is,
she freaking out because she can't use the egg yolks now because he said, "Bitch,
It's
don't
not
take my
even the
eggs."
full. It's not even the full egg. It's not even most of the egg. Like, both of them being petty. They really are. She could save them, but it's not that damn deep.
She
What are you
really
gonna
had
do?
a
Make
fit
it
because
such a
he said
meringue?
really
It's
had
not
a
deep.
fit just because he said, "Bitch, don't take my eggs."
the thing is, like, I mean, I live with somebody that's kind of, on the frugal side. And if you say don't do this because I want to save money, I'm like, whatever. I'm just not gonna do it. I don't get it. You don't have to get it, but you just don't do it.
And that's why I said both of them are petty.
Yeah, because it very much
I don't
could
think
have
he's
just
petty.
been.
I think he's petty to be like,
You
you
he's
can't
not
get no
petty.
egg
He
just
just like
because
his
you're not
egg
using the
whites.
whole thing. And she
Nah,
won't, so how is it any
I
different?
think it's petty for him to say you can't
You
use my
can't use the
eggs
egg
Oh,
because
that
you
part's
only
petty.
like it's like I'm gonna write
Mhm.
my name on these eggs and you can't take out this egg box. Like that's petty.
petty.
That part is petty.
But then she also freaked out
I'm
about
not talking
not
about the
being able
fact
to
that he
get the
wants his
yolks.
whites. I'm not talking about the fact that he wants his whites. That's fine. That's not
Yeah.
petty. That's
Yeah,
why I said
it's
I would
him.
probably be more on his side because everybody had these random ass idiosyncrasies that make no
Yes.
sense to anybody else, but it makes perfect sense to you. So it's like I'll be more on his side because of that. But to be like, you're not allowed to use the 1/3 of you're not allowed to use eggs at all because you don't use 1/3 of it.
You know what? It's not even petty no more. She just don't listen. She wasting
No, she
what,
just
like
hard-headed.
5 cents? She wasting the 5 cents.
She just being like, yeah, whatever. And it's like you're causing unnecessary argument within your relationship, but you
Like-
are also causing unnecessary argument within your
thing-
relationship.
Like I
What I'm
really
thinking
think
is,
at this
like,
point
let me
she's doing
say
that shit on
something.
purpose. Like I think she just purposely
I think
throwing that
so.
shit away at this point because she tired of him talking about it. I think she's being petty on purpose.
In my household, let me open up the Oreos and take all the filling out.
Why
He'd
would
be
you
like,
do that though?
because she did it, and he'll be like, "Don't take my Oreos."
You can't have no more Oreos.
No, don't take my Oreos.
Person that you don't take all, I throw the filling away, but I'm eating 2/3 of the freaking cookie, and you tell me I can't never have Oreos again because I don't want the filling. Yes.
Or you could just, I don't know,
Both of them
just don't do it.
stand
Like,
on.
I don't know.
And
That's
it's not
silly.
that deep to him. It is, but both, like I said, it's causing an unnecessary confrontation.
Yeah, like you could just not be petty. That's the whole thing about it. Like we
Okay,
could just
y'all.
not be. You could just save the
Just-
whites. Put the shit like you gonna
put it in a
separate the
bowl.
yolk over a bowl anyway. Just put it in the refrigerator.
She probably
I
does.
wanna
submit
know
that
how old they
motherfucker
were.
in the
Just
trash
shake
can.
it.
I think they said 25.
I
Yeah,
really want to know how old they. Oh, 25.
they're 25.
Yeah.
Oh, they're old for relationship. So they should be starting to compromise by then. Well, no, not really actually.
I mean, maybe it's just because maybe he's just one of them people that's like, no, you got to eat every single part. And now it's
Or
an
ma-
egg shortage, so he really like, bitch, use all that egg because I can't get no more for 2 weeks. Like, it's,
Honestly, I don't even think it has anything to do with he's a person that uses every piece of the egg. I feel like, only because there's an egg shortage that he's like really
yeah, I
bitching
don't think
about
he
it.
cared about this before it was an egg shortage.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I think you know what he probably, because if she's been doing, I bet she's been doing this. He
Yeah,
has probably always cared, but it wasn't that deep.
but it
because
didn't
wasn't
bother him
an egg
this much. And now it's like, we can't get
all of a
eggs.
sudden, you can't all of a sudden be like, hey, the same thing you've been doing for the past 3 years is pissing me off. It's like, okay, dude. And then expect me to just immediately change. You can't do that
That's
either.
true.
So I bet she's been doing it. Now, obviously, we don't know, but I bet she's been doing it. And just now, since there's a shortage, he's like, stop. And she's like, no. And so now it's a problem.
Honestly,
That's
I bet
a possibility.
I bet he never noticed before it was an
To the egg
shortage.
shortage.
Because I bet it was one of those things where he was probably in the kitchen while she was doing her little ramen thing, and he was like, "But why you
Like, this egg costs $5.
right? Like we ain't got no eggs in this country. Why you throwing that out?"
You just threw out 55 cents worth of egg. It's like, okay, yeah.
Exactly.
Tell you what.
He in there like Julius. Nah, see, yeah, he
Oh,
didn't care before
everybody
it was
hates
an egg shortage.
Both of them are petty. I wouldn't necessarily say he's an asshole. I would say he's petty. Because I'm not gonna say nobody's an asshole because they're idiosyncrasies. I mean, it is what
But
it
it's
is.
also, like this egg thing sounds like what happened in relationships anyway. Like, when you and your partner first start living together and it's been a minute and and you be like, nigga, did you always chew like that? Ew. Like,
Yes.
it's like that
Yes.
type of shit. So I think this egg thing is
Yeah.
just one of them type of things.
She'll be that as well.
I mean, yeah, if you're together for longer than maybe 2 years, it's gonna be stupid stuff that you have to compromise on. It's like, that don't really matter, but I don't want to hear you talk about it again.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna let you get that.
It's
Let
like
you
when
get that one.
you realize your partner's laugh is really irritating, although you thought it was cute when y'all didn't live together, or you notice they hold their fork weird. It's one of them things like that. Like, where it's like, oh, did you always do that?
Hold on, wait. Sharice, I know you didn't. You hold your fork weird.
No,
You do.
no, I ain't about to snitch on nobody, but
You hold your fork like a 2-year-old.
the same way I used to.
Used to. When you start?
I was like, why you hold your
Yesterday.
spoon weird?
You still drink
Why
like
we
a
dropping
child.
dimes?
I mean, that's
Wow.
how it goes.
Pay attention next time. For real. I'd be like, ugh.
You know what? It's because both of y'all be scarfing y'all food down. Y'all think ain't y'all eat like Major Payne.
Let's
Oh,
talk about
no,
Sean.
not Major Payne.
He listen to it too. That's why y'all always beefing. You talking about him.
No, he mess with me. No, he mess with me all the time. And y'all better not feel sorry for this man. He mess with me. He mess with me when I'm not even there. That's what he does. Don't have sympathy for that dude.
Y'all are funny. I mean, this nigga I live with listen to this too. And he every time
You
he
need me
be
to say
like, why you
something about him
talking
too?
about me? He always
Oh,
asks me why I'm talking about him.
they can get over it. They'll get over it.
I be trying not to say any no names, so you won't know who I'm talking
He
about.
also laughs that
Those people that won't know are people that literally don't know you. Everybody
Yeah.
knows who
We
you
just-
with.
Everybody know.
it's also he also laughs that on every podcast I do when I talk about him, I refer to him as this nigga that I live with or this nigga that's in my house.
It's kind of disrespectful.
He thinks it's funny.
Yeah, another one. I don't have a
I was about to say,
question.
you have another question?
don't
I
have
can get one right quick.
This one was it's a little on the weird
It was
side.
goofy.
No, hold on. No, this dude literal on the weird side. Where it go?
Oh, I got another one.
Wait, I might have one.
But it's I got one if you ain't got one.
Dang,
You
I'm
Sharice?
mad. I just had it.
I ain't come
Yeah,
up with
Sharice,
one.
you-
I got one.
Yeah, 'cause-
Y'all ready?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Am I the asshole for refusing my parents' tickets to my graduation? When I was 17, I got into a great university, but the issue is that tuition was going to be too expensive. I was raised by my grandparents from 8 years old on because I was not well, and they rated what they could get. What? Because I was not well, and clearly didn't edit these before, so we got to just go where it's what's here. And they rated what they can get from their retirement funds. I worked, I did FAFSA and got scholarships, and we were still short for school. So we looked into it, and then my 66-year-old grandpa got a job at the school, and my grandma got a job working too, and I used my benefits from my grandma in the end, but they kept working because I ended up deciding to go to med school, and that was free instead of whatever it would have cost because she used her grandfather's health benefits. Now I'm graduating in a full graduation ceremony. I've only been granted 2 tickets. They were always going to go to my grandparents. There was no question about that. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that part. My mom and dad are still in my life, but I never really forgave them for literally sending me away. I understand that I was sick at 8 and I needed constant care, but I was healed by 13. They never took me back. The tickets aren't meant for them in my mind. They're meant for the people who went to work so I could win. My parents bought tickets to LA and have made all their reservations, but they're all of those non-refundable deals. I told them they wouldn't be invited to any of the planned after parties or my actual graduation, but they insist on coming out anyway. I told them that I wouldn't be seeing them or my siblings. My dad called to tell me that I'd upset my mother, and I told him that she was only upset because she wasted her money and she'd always had our address. He told me I was an asshole and they were working and had careers, and my siblings, and they couldn't take care of me because I was sick.
So no.
What's the question? Take your
Are they-
grandparents
are
to
they-
your graduation and go out to eat. What's the question?
The question is she an asshole for not inviting her parents? The answer is no.
No. People like
Go ahead.
you. When you grow up, your parents are just adult. Well, that sounds wrong.
No.
Go ahead, somebody else. Let me. Because people think just because they're older and in your family, aunt, uncle, mother, they entitled to a relationship with you, which is not true. It
They're
shouldn't.
I don't
That
even
entitled
shouldn't be
to
the
think
you.
case.
that's the thing, because I don't
Well,
even think
yeah.
it's a relationship. No, because
They're
Yeah.
entitled
Okay.
to
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
the reason I wouldn't say relationship is
no.
because the thing is you parents think that they're automatically like, if let's say I win the lottery, that doesn't mean I have to give my mama anything.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm a professional basketball player. My mama don't get season tickets on the floor. Like, it's like you think just because you're the parent, you immediately get whatever the child gets.
Mhm.
You are the first pick for everything that the child does or wants or reward or whatever the case may be. And that's not necessarily the case. I give it to the person I wanted to go to or the people I wanted to go to. Now, granted, more often than not, the parents or guardians, well, yeah, the guardians are the ones that's normally the ones that get, the tickets to graduations. More often than not, that's the parent, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's always the parent. So if my guardian, the person that helped me do everything, is my a best friend, a family friend or something, then that's going to be the person I'm going to give my stuff to. Those will be the people that I'm going to feel are more obligated to be there during my successes versus the person or the people that gave me life. Just because you happen to biologically be my parents doesn't mean you automatically get everything that I get, regardless of what you have done or not done in the past for me or to me.
And also, if we talking about, in this particular case, graduation tickets, we talking my med school graduation, they going to the people who bust their ass to help me pay for
Yeah.
it. Like,
Med school,
you
yes.
can go, I don't care where you go. And the thing is, it's like, I would see it as y'all clearly didn't want me because I got
It's
sick.
like,
Now,
was a doctor.
because it's like, at 13, I'm better, but y'all still didn't let me come home because I got sick at 8. Y'all didn't want me, so let's keep that same energy. Y'all don't want me now either.
I feel
So
like
no, the answer, no,
that's
not
something
as
like we're looked at as being disrespectful when we're just adults treating adults
In
how
adult
they treat
ways,
us.
yeah.
It's like you can't disrespect me and like crap on me and don't want to be around me, then expect me just like, well, I'm your aunt, your mama, your grandma. No, I don't work with that.
Right.
I can call you Miss Sheila now if I want to. Well, maybe not that far, but what I'm
I
saying
could
is
just call you
on the
Sheila
same
at that point.
on the same playing field for real. Like, I don't know. I feel like a lot
no.
of
Now, if there's a respect
That's-
level there, but that's built because of the relationship, that don't automatically because
there's
of
no
your
respect
biological.
level here. There's no
well,
respect
the
level
thing,
here because there's no relationship. It don't sound like.
Yeah.
the thing is like kids are expected when they become adults, they're expected, the parents expect them to look at them like, I am just an adult and made XYZ decisions being a parent, but sorry for whatever it is that I've done, blah, 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 whatever you need to understand as an adult. But then now that I'm an adult, you don't want me to treat you like an adult. You want me to still be
Right.
your child and be like you superhero parent, and you get everything that I get. If you want me to grow up and be the adult and understand all of the plights that came with being a parent and hard decisions you've had to make, or what you didn't know how to do, or you did this wrong, whatever the case may be, and you want me to forgive you as an adult, then we're speaking as adults at this point. It's no longer a child and parent relationship at this particular moment while we're speaking. It's adult. And me as an adult, this is my decision. The same way you want me to understand your adult decisions, I need you to understand my adult decisions.
Yep. And respect my adult boundaries.
Yes.
Respect my authority.
Sure.
I think that's more prevalent in
non-white,
Black and poor. Okay.
Yeah.
Non-white. That's
non-white. That's not a Black thing. That's a non-white thing.
Yeah, Black and poor, because I don't know what like Asians and.
No, I'm telling you, that's a non-white thing. But
I
that's
said
like
poor
because-
because poor could be any race, and I feel like poor
But
people.
I don't even think it's a
have
poor
it's not
thing.
even poor.
I don't even think it's a poor thing. I think it's. I
Okay.
say
So
the
for
reason
example-
I
I don't
say
know.
Hold on, example. Here's an example. I don't know if you watch Real Housewives of Potomac.
Mhm.
Do you? The doctor on there that no longer wants to be a professor, and the mother is like, no, you professor, you need to be a professor because that's what makes me look good. You still need to do everything because this is what I want you to be able to do because you're my child. They are African.
They are. They be serious about this stuff.
But
Yeah.
a lot
It's
of
not. It's
a lot
definitely
of
not
Asian parents
American
are
black
like
thing.
that too.
I
That's why they
know
got the
Asian.
term
I
white
couldn't say
parents.
black and Asian. I could have, but I knew Asians were like that.
But the thing is,
Really
it's like
non-white.
yeah, and the reason
Probably.
why
You-
it's
you're
not
probably right.
white,
You're probably right.
it to me it's because people of color aren't allowed to have healthy boundaries with their elders. They're not
Correct.
allowed to express that. They're not allowed to have them. They're not even from childhood because
Yes.
you can remember being a kid and somebody started playing with you and you don't want to play and everybody was like, "Oh, quit being a baby, just play." And it's like, but I don't want to do that. Like we're taught
Or give such and such a hug.
a hug, yeah. Like we're taught that you will never be able to have boundaries in the confines of this relationship.
Sure.
So as you get older, you don't set boundaries, you just get resentful.
Mhm.
And to the point where it's like you have to cut all physical ties if you ever get there, or you end up in some really unhealthy coping mechanism because you're taught it's like you get conflicting messages in households of color because you're taught stand up for yourself, but then you come home and it's like fuck your
Except-
boundaries. Like
except for with the adults in this
That's
family.
funny. That's funny.
right. And it's the same thing.
True,
It's like
though.
you're told you stand up for yourself, you stand up for what you believe in, and you get home and it's fuck your boundaries, fuck your beliefs. You shut up and you do exactly what I say because I said it.
Because I said so.
So
Ridiculous.
you grow up with these very conflicting messages. So then what happens is you become super aggressive
Mhm.
and don't respect anybody's boundaries, or you shrink to the point that you don't even have boundaries of your own because you don't even speak up.
Yep.
Yes. So I would like to say to anybody who might be like, I don't know, 17 that happen to be listen to this. Well, no, I don't want to cause friction in your household. But listen here.
It's okay to
Eventually-
have boundaries.
Eventually, you're gonna have to do what you gotta do. Well, I don't even have to go that young. I feel like even like let's say 24-year-olds go through this stuff when they feel like they
mean,
can't
it's-
stand up for themselves.
I
They
think
can't say no.
It's
I'm not about to
people
go to
at
such and
any
such.
age going through this.
I was gonna say that. I would even
I
say
believe
honestly,
it. I
just
cut
flat
that off
out
a long time
minor.
ago.
Just flat out minor in general. Like just because I mean
Shit,
now
some
granted, I'm
adults.
not getting ready to sit here and tell you go and disrespect your parents. I'm not saying that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, nobody's
Uh,
saying that. That's why I
saying
wasn't gonna say
disrespect your
minors. You know?
parents. Them too.
Although, yeah, minors could be disrespected. What I was talking about is more of like our ages, because we come when certain things happen, you're like, go do this. It's like, no, I don't want to. Or
Mhm.
can I come to this? Can I get some of, I don't know, money or whatever? Like, no, you're not entitled to it. It's because
Mhm.
I progressed in life. So I'm telling
Yeah.
people, like, if you feel like you want to start cutting folk off or don't want to support anybody, it's okay.
Mhm.
It is okay.
It's okay. You might be called mean and all
You
this
have
other
to
junk,
be, you
but
have to learn
Selfish.
to be okay with being the villain in
Selfish.
somebody's story.
I don't think anybody who's successful and wealthy hasn't been called selfish though. You'll get over it. Or me.
Yeah, you have to be okay with being the villain in somebody's story.
Yeah. That's selfish. The main thing goes back to,
You're not
it's
allowed to
just
have
because-
boundaries.
just because you had the nerve to say no.
Yep.
We've had nerd to
I
focus
ask
on
you all the
yourself.
time.
I think I talked about
When
this
they-
episode ago, or I guess like selfish should not be such a bad word.
Mhm.
It
I
shouldn't.
know Chanel talked about this a couple times. It shouldn't be such a bad word.
It's not a bad word. I mean, the thing is No one knows how full my cup is. So for you to demand me to pour water from my cup into yours is BS. So you have no idea how full this is. If I want my water right now, it's okay for me to have my water. It's my water. I feel like Lil Wayne. It's my cup. It's mine. Don't worry about my cup. It's my. I'm not obligated. Even if I'm overflowing, I still ain't got to give you no water. It's my water. And for you to say that I'm mean and or selfish because let me change that. Forget the selfish part because I don't care about that. For you to say I'm mean because I had the nerve to tell you no, you
But
wouldn't
that
think I'm a
only
doormat.
comes
You wouldn't think I'm a doormat if I told you yes. So why am I mean
right.
because I said no?
And
You
also
can't
that
have it
only
both ways.
comes up, you only get called mean when you say no to anybody that's not them. Because when they're if it's the same person sitting next to you and somebody else asks you for something and you say no, like girl, I wouldn't have did that either. But then when they ask and you say no, it's like, oh, why you being a nasty bitch? Like, why don't you just let me get what I need to get? Because it's but you're not allowed to use me just like you just said that other person wasn't allowed. The same rules apply. People don't like when rules apply to them as well. Because everybody likes to think they're the exception. And it's like, no, honey.
Yes.
I only got like the rule.
True.
And I'm not doing it for nobody. How about that?
True.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do decide somewhere down the line to do it for somebody else, don't come to me talking about, well, why you do it for them and not for me? Because I fucking wanted to.
Because I wanted to. I don't have to explain that either.
I don't have to tell you nothing. Like,
see, and this is things that I can't remember what age I learned some of this stuff. It wasn't, I mean, if it wasn't in my 30s, it was like late 20s. So we have a younger demographic that we thought we would have. So just letting everybody know if you listen to it, like.
But that also goes to understanding that no is a complete sentence, right? You don't have to explain why. You don't have to kneecap it. No is a complete fucking sentence.
And the funny thing is every time,
right.
Every time somebody, you know, if I say no, they're like, well, why? And I'm like, would you ask why if I say yes? Well,
I say that all the time.
I said, right. Well, why wouldn't you ask? Because I would get what I want. So you mad because you're not getting what you want. You don't give a damn about what the
want an explanation because I didn't agree
because
with
you don't like it.
An explanation so that you can then tell me it is acceptable for me to have told you no.
So you can, and not only that, so you can maneuver around my reason so you can get me to say yes.
So you can figure out what you need to say to get me to say yes. And
I said no because I woke up this morning and I decided to say no to everybody that asked me a question. That could be it.
Whenever I tell somebody no and they ask me why, I say, why is the sky blue? And they was like, why you ask me that? I said, because I thought we were asking stupid ass questions. That's what I thought was happening. I thought this was the dumbass question section because I don't have to tell you shit. I said no. The fuck?
People should say no more this year than they did last year, more than likely.
I mean, if
more than likely, people should say no more this year than they did last year. That's I think that's most people.
I know what she's trying to say.
You don't get it. Like,
I think she's saying she think people will or either will say no more, or if they don't, they should, because of what the last year has been.
No, not even 2020.
I thought I got it.
What I'm saying is, people usually don't say no enough.
Oh, you think people are going to be more likely to say no now because of what just happened?
They should.
No,
not they.
I don't even think
they should. Not even 20.
I don't think it has anything to do with. I don't think it has anything to do with 2020. I think she's basically saying everybody needs to learn how to say no. Folks, you did last year, say no more.
Even in 2035, say more no's in 2034 than you did in 2034. I said more. I think I could generalize people in saying they can get away with saying more no's the next year.
See, for me, I think, and I've said this multiple times, and I'm talking specifically with what this last year has been. I think that this last year with the pandemic and the quarantine and all this other stuff, I think it should have really taught you that you need to take care of yourself. You need to I'm not one of them people that's like, oh, last year 2020 showed you who really care about you, who really now, because everybody was dealing with shit in whatever way they was dealing with shit. It was a lot going on. Like, you can't take a crisis year and say that this shows how people treat how people fuck with you, but you can take a crisis year to assess how you take care of yourself, right? So it's like, if you got, because a lot of people found themselves really struggling with their mental health because they didn't know what to do when told to sit down. You know, they didn't know what to do when they had to spend time with themselves. They didn't know how to just exist with themselves and not consistently doing something with somebody or doing something for somebody. So that's why I say, like, in a crisis year, what you should learn is how to take care of yourself, because that's the only way you're going to tell other people how to take care of you.
And honestly, the learning how to take care of yourself goes into telling people
saying no. Yeah.
Great.
Because no is, I think no is one of the healthiest words.
I would agree.
As you said, no is a complete sentence.
A very complete sentence.
No is an okay answer. No does not need an explanation.
Nope.
No is okay for you to say. People just have to deal with it. And if they don't, then you don't have to deal with them.
Yeah. You never owe anybody an explanation for anything you do or say. You do not owe people an explanation.
And you do not owe your mental, your time, your emotion to anybody in this world.
Sure don't.
There you go.
Except you decide to be a parent. But you know what I mean.
I mean, you still don't owe them niggas everything.
You owe them stuff. Shut up.
I ain't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. I said you don't owe them everything. It's okay to take a mental health day from your kids. It does not make you a bad parent to take a mental health day from your children, especially in this last year where you're with them 100%. Because we are not built to be 24-hour parents. I don't care what y'all talking about.
Adults come before kids.
The last time you come before anybody. That's really what it is.
Yep.
Everybody.
But the last time that it's been like this, where everybody was legitimately forced to be around whoever they live with 24 hours, was the last pandemic. How long ago was that?
The swine flu? Who was it?
No, girl. The Spanish flu.
Whatever flu it was.
Like, nobody nowadays know how to do this.
And we're not socialized to be 24-hour parents. I know people drag
24-hour nothing.
People drag Justin Timberlake for saying that, but there's other reasons to drag him. He was right, because this is why y'all be at home bitching, because your kids are your damn nerves. It's like, these little motherfuckers call me one more time and say, watch this, so they can spin in a circle. I might kick this nigga. Like, it's like, because kids are irritating. That's why you need a break. That's why you go to work. Like, kids are annoying.
People are annoying. Everybody needs that alone time. I don't care if you have kids or not.
Yes, people are annoying. When you live with somebody and y'all both go, when you really think about it, when you take out the 8 hours you sleep, the 8 hours you go to work, you only spending about 8 hours.
You don't spend a lot of time with these people.
It's less than 8 hours, because if you include the getting ready and commute time to get back and forth to work, you're probably only spending 6 hours with these people.
At best, you spend 5 hours with these people.
Come on. Say 16. Let's still take the 8 out for sleep. Like, come on, dude. Like, this is too much. You start looking at them like, were you always that tall? Like,
it's like you just be mad. Like, did your face always do that when you sneeze? Like,
you just be mad because you don't want to be around it.
It's like, go find something to do. This when y'all start having corners and shit. Like, go sit in your corner. Leave me alone. Don't think of a new story to tell me. Shit, I'm tired of talking to you.
Don't feel bad because you feel that way. Rather, it's with your parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, kids, significant other. I don't care. Siblings, it don't matter. Just be like, leave me alone for a minute.
We are not built to be around anybody 24 hours a day. Because at best, you spend five hours of your day with any given person.
Man, like stop it.
Because we used to say all the time, I spend most time at work than I do at home.
Yes, we say that
But you
all the
also
time.
not with the same people every day at work necessarily. Like you don't necessarily interact with the same people. If I wake up and this thing's just talking to me, and I'm like, okay, for about 2 weeks, that's gonna be cute, and then it's gonna be like, oh, did you always breathe that hard? Go find somebody else to talk to. Leave me alone. I just want to be quiet. Shit, you start trying to be like, can we play the quiet game like you did to little kids?
Not the quiet game.
You start trying to find all kinds of dumbass errands to run.
I gotta go outside and make sure the grass still green.
I'm gonna go to the store and go buy some Elmer's glue. For what? What are you doing?
You know what? I need some glitter. I'll be back.
Let me go try to find a board game. I'll be back. Like you just start leaving for no damn reason.
I just leave go to Chanel's house.
And then she comes bother me. That's why she told me I'm gonna be happy. I'm not gonna be happy when she leave. I'm gonna miss her. No, the hell I won't. I won't.
Y'all gonna be just sitting up under each other, just talking to each other. Y'all gonna be irritated.
Chanel, you at home? Yeah, I'm outside.
Right.
I'm like, oh, they come around the corner. You know, we live right around the corner. I'm like, oh. Let me stop. I get in trouble.
He be doing the same thing sometimes, but it's all right. Yeah. All right, so this one was actually kind of long. We had about an hour and a half now.
Yeah.
A little bit over. Well, this was fun. This was lighthearted for the most part.
I think we're gonna have a guest on next week's episode.
Let's talk about it after.
I mean, I can still say it right now. It ain't like I
Don't
said.
Announce it. Okay,
yes,
go ahead.
Nigga. Yes. Be our guest.
Well, go ahead. What you talk about?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we got some things to talk about when we get up off of here. Thank you guys so much for listening to us and or watching us if you are watching us on YouTube. We really appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Peace out. See you guys.
And rate us on your wherever you're listening. Give us a 5-star rating in your podcast.
5-star.
And we'll become more discoverable, a lot easier for you to find on your home page. Yes. So somehow I actually pressed stop, so I'm gonna do that again. Make sure you leave us a what I say? Rate us so we can become more discoverable on your home page. I made a mistake and stopped it, y'all. My bad. It's gonna be a cut in my voice.
It won't.
All right.
It really will. If y'all watch when you see it. Okay. Yes, it will.
All right, that's fine. Bye, y'all.
All right. Peace out.
Peace.